Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Evening Devotion. Tonight we're going to be reading out of Proverbs 24, 33, and 34. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. It's funny because night before last, I was laying there waiting to go to sleep, and this exact verse popped into my head as I was laying there because I had my hands folded on my chest. This exact verse, I thought of this exact verse as I went to sleep, and I don't know why. And now here we're talking about it. That's kind of weird. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. So shall your poverty come like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. That's kind of weird. What does that mean? What is that talking about? So we can get a little bit of context here. Start verse 30. I went by the field of a lazy man, and by the vineyard of the man devoid of understanding. And there it was, all overgrown with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles. Its stone wall was broken down. When I saw it, I considered it well. I looked on it and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. So shall your poverty come like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. Let's see what the devotion has to say. Maybe it'll give some insights on that. The worst, obviously we know what this is talking about. Laziness leads to poverty, leads to nothing. The worst of sluggards only ask for a little slumber. They would be indignant if they were accused of thorough idleness. So they pretend to be up and doing something. A little folding of the hands to sleep is all they crave. And they have a crowd of reasons to show that this indulgence is a very proper one. So they're trying to look pious. Yet by these littles, the day ebbs out, and the time for labor is all gone, and the field is grown over with thorns. It is by little procrastinations that men ruin their souls. And, this is the truth. And in some way or another, we're all a little guilty of it. It is what it is. They have no intentions to delay for years. A few months will bring the more convenient season, tomorrow, if you will. They will attend to serious things, but the present hour is so occupied and altogether so unsuitable that they beg to be excused. Like sands from an hourglass, time passes. Life is wasted by driblets, and seasons of grace lost by little slumbers. Oh, to be wise, to catch the flying hour, to use the moments on the wing. May the Lord teach us this sacred wisdom, for otherwise a poverty of the worst sort awaits us. Eternal poverty, which shall want even a drop of water and beg for it in vain, like a traveler steadily pursuing his journey. Poverty overtakes the slothful, and ruin overthrows the undecided. Each hour brings the dreaded pursuer nearer. He pauses not by the way, for he is on his master's business and must not tarry. As an armed man enters with authority and power, so shall want come to the idle, and death to the impotent. There will be no escape. Oh, that men were wise betimes, and would seek diligently unto the Lord Jesus, or ere the solemn day shall dawn, when it will be too late to plow and to sow, too late to repent and believe. And that time seems to be coming pretty quick. In harvest, it is vain to lament that the seed time was neglected. Doesn't do any good to complain about planting season if you have nothing to harvest. As yet, faith and holy decision are timely. May we obtain them this night. So, this is talking about being lazy in your life and in business and stuff like that, in your normal daily duties. But more importantly and more specifically, this is referencing the time of becoming a Christian, considering the Bible, considering the gospel, considering the offer that Jesus has for everyone. We all are lazy at times. It is what it is. Part being human, we get tired, especially when we get older and we have a lot of pain. We don't look forward to going out there and being in more pain. So we put things off. If I can't get it now, I'll get it later. And usually we get it later. It gets done. And the Lord, in a lot of cases, understands. Some were just flat lazy. Some there are extenuating circumstances, but this is more specifically geared towards the person who is putting off being saved, putting off converting, putting off accepting the free gift of salvation that Jesus Christ offers all men. There is no time like the present, and they will say, "Well, I'll think about it some more tomorrow, or maybe next weekend." And some of them, and there are stories about this, some of them never make it to tomorrow. Some of them never make it to next weekend. I had a friend tell me that they had a buddy that talked to him, went to church, talked to him after church, and they said, "You know what? Let me think on it tonight, and I'll give you a call tomorrow and make the decision then." And they said that tomorrow, or the next day in the afternoon, they got a phone call from the guy's wife, and he had died in his sleep. So he never made it to tomorrow. Others have said, "Yeah, let me consider what you're saying. Let me think about it." And they die on the way home in a car crash, or something else happens, some strange circumstance happens, and that was their last opportunity, and it's over with. It's gone, because now they have none. And more importantly, and more specifically, especially with what we're watching today, the time when the door shuts to the age of grace. This age of grace isn't going to last forever. Right now, it's free grace. Everybody gets it, believer and unbeliever. The door is open. You want it? You want the gift? You want salvation? Come get it. It's open for everybody. Come get it. Receive it. But after this door shuts, and that'll be the moment when the Lord takes the church out. When that door shuts, it's a different story after that. It's a different scenario. It's a different game. Whole different ball game. And it's not going to be like this. A lot of people are going to come to that realization far too late. Because you can pound on that door all you want, but he's not going to let you in. He doesn't know you. And he says that. There's multiple parables on this. They beat on that door. "I don't know you. You should have been ready." So it's not like people haven't been warned over and over and over. It's not like people haven't been offered the opportunity over and over and over. It's not like the Lord has sent people to remind them, sent messages to remind them, shown them the truth, billboards, commercials, YouTube videos, social media posts, whatever it is, to convict their heart, and then they keep turning the offer down. But then what happens if the door shuts? What happens if their life is required? And will they stand and say, "Hey, wait a minute, could you not give me like another hour? Couldn't you give me one more day? I'm ready to make that decision. It's too late." You had that time. You don't want to hear the gospel while you're up in a ski resort and say, "Yeah, you know what? When I'm done with my vacation, I'll think about it." And then now you're falling off a mountain wishing you had made the decision. I mean, why would you do that? But there are people today that they just don't want any part of it. They just will not address it. They just will not stop and consider it. They believe what other people tell them instead of believing what the truth is. Doing their own research, doing their own studies, looking for themselves. It's rough. It's a hard thing to consider. It's a hard thing to think about. But anybody who's a new Christian, if somebody's playing these videos for you or sent you these videos, we don't want you to believe because of us. We're not trying to force you. What we're trying to do is get you to see the light, see the truth. That this is a free offer. It's not what the world tells you it is. It's a free offer. There's nothing required. There's no changing. There's no stopping sin. There's none of that. You just believe. Get the gift. Be born again. The Lord does the work. He does the changing. He redirects your path to where he wants you to be. And we tell you this because we have learned, since we have come around, that it is an incredible blessing. It is an amazing, amazing gift, and that you can't live without it. Because there's only one other alternative besides what he offers. And that's not desirable. There's no parties in hell. There's no everybody sitting around having a good time. It is complete torment. And it is for eternity. And there's no reason to have to do that. And the Lord warns us over and over. He warned us in the Bible 49 times, just in the New Testament. Don't go to hell. Flee Gehenna. Don't go to destruction. Come to heaven. For those that have already been saved, for those that have already figured it out, those that have already seen it, that the Lord has revealed to them the truth and they believe it, we know this. We understand this. And daily we work through this stuff. We work out our salvation daily. We work out through our understanding daily. We work with the Lord and work under the Lord. And we are taught by the Lord. And we are still being taught by the Lord. And growing in grace, mercy, and love. And desperately sharing with others that they might see the light too. You know, the consequences are it is very dark right now. But I still see lights shine. I still see people coming to faith. I still see people making that transition. And everything changes for them. Everything gets great. Everything is amazing. Everything, their whole view of life changes. Now, we still have problems. There's still troubles. Life, those things don't end because we get saved. But our view of them and our perception of them is so different. So different. So I'm very encouraged when I see that there are still young people and older people coming to faith. Some, the Lord kept them alive a long time and they came to faith at the end of their life. Some came to faith early and have grown a great deal and are sharing that with anyone who will listen nowadays. We're coming up on the end of the generation from the fig tree generation. We're coming up on the end of that. A lot of them people are in their 70s and 80s now. A lot of them are passing away. They're sharing their stories. They're sharing their testimonies. They're telling people. Don't be lazy. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. Other things we can do that with to a certain degree. This, salvation, the free gift, we can't put it off for another minute because we don't know if we have the next minute. We don't know if we have the next hour. We don't know if we have the next day. We don't know if we'll wake up tomorrow. We don't. I had a buddy, I grew up with him. He's turned into a real jerk when he got older. So a lot of people weren't around him. But we were friends for years, all through our childhood. And he was in his 30s. And everything was fine. They all had a great weekend. And he didn't wake up. He went to sleep that night and didn't wake up. Give me just a second. This was a few years ago. He went to sleep that night, didn't wake up. His wife woke up and he was gone. They said he had a massive heart attack in his sleep. I don't believe he was saved. And the Lord took him. It was his time to go, and the Lord took him. I hope his brother was smart enough to get saved. I hope his brother was smart enough to see the light. His dad, hope he was. He was a very, very arrogant man. Hope he saw the light. But yeah, the Lord took him. That's it. It's over with. His chance is gone. So we never know. We never know. We never know what's going to happen. I watched a police cam video last night. And this happened this last month. A cop went to pull somebody over. I think the license plate was out. Guy runs. He's in a Charger Red Eye edition, super fast. And he takes a turn. It was a wide turn. It was rainy in the city, full of traffic. Slides and hits a car head on at 120 mile an hour. And mom and dad did not make it, and the baby luckily and barely made it. That was in the back seat. The driver was fine. Turns out he's illegal. He was illegal, and he had multiple charges already on him and stuff like that, and actually was on the list for ICE to come pick him up, but they got him in this car. He took off running and left his buddy in the car while it was on fire. And they had to go, and luckily he figured out how to get himself out. The other guy, they arrested him. But yeah, their life over. Those two people, they were young. They were in their 20s. Life over. One instant. Gone. He hit them so hard that it knocked their car 400 feet back down the road. It was something else. But that just goes to show you how quickly things can change. Literally laughing one minute and turn, and then that's it. It's over the next minute. So why would we wait? And there isn't a sense of urgency in this decision, especially now with everything we see. They just had a huge volcano erupt in Ethiopia that there has been no recorded eruption. I think the last one was, hundreds of years ago or something like that, but it turned out to be a massive explosion. They've had a bunch of other ones suddenly go off. There's new ones all the time, and they're suddenly are waking up. They have no recorded history of activity. Now they're waking up. They don't even look like a volcano anymore, like a mountain, and now they're about to erupt. Wild stuff. There's a real sense of urgency in sharing the truth, and sharing the gospel, and trying to get people to see the light. Hey, you don't have to believe me, but at least look at it. Look at it and consider it yourself, and do it soon. Don't wait, because you don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't know that everything in your life could change. I mean, our friend Carol years ago, was it 2016, something like that? Went to the doctor because she had some fractured vertebrae, and they were going to put some stuff in there to kind of like concrete or whatever to hold them together. And they were doing tests on her because she didn't feel good. She hadn't felt good for a couple of years. And they did a urine test on her, and they're like, hey, you need to go see your other doctor. Sent them back. Turned out she had pancreatic cancer. 2 weeks to the day she passed. Life over that quick. Instant. So you never know. You just never know. The Lord sometimes gives us plenty of time. Sometimes we don't have plenty of time. You never know. And so today's the day of salvation. And this is our declaration. Today's the day of salvation. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not next year. You may not have that time. I mean, guys, with everything that's going on and all the signs that are, and the time that we know we're in, because all that information from the Essenes calendar, that stuff's turning out to be very accurate. Matter of fact, they are 100% accurate. They go way back to before the birth of Jesus. These people have been around a long time, and everything that they've predicted is 100% accuracy. I think they predicted the arrival or the appearance of Jesus to the week when he would step forward and say, hey, here, we're going to do this. They got it down to the week. That's amazing. Well, they have very clearly defined specific time frames, and they specifically talk about 2025. Well, here we are. Next year starts last 50 years, finishing up the final Jubilee, the 120th Jubilee that the Bible talks about. It's amazing. And they're very clearly talking about this. Well, you know what? Next year might be it. It may be a whole different ballgame after that. We don't know. It could be the year after that. But why would anybody wait and see? I'll wait and see what happens. But what you don't realize is that if you wait and see what happens, when it happens and you go, whoa, okay, well, that got my attention. That's what I was looking for. It's already too late. It's already too late. It's already too late. So if you're an unbeliever, and you're watching this today, please, I implore you and I beg you today. If you're a believer and you're sharing with others, implore them today. Please, today. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Because listen, and I'll close with this. We all live for eternity. Every one of us, believer and non-believer alike. But the decisions you make in this life will dictate where you spend that eternity. And brethren, there is only two places. One of them is with the Lord, and the other one is not. One is in the light and one is in the darkness. I don't want to be in the darkness. I don't want to be in the torment. I want to be in the light with the Lord. Because if you're in the dark, you can't see who's walking up on you. You can't see what's walking up on you. You can't see what's happening or about to happen. I don't want to be there. You imagine the fear? Can you imagine the torment of just knowing the mistake you made and having to live with that for eternity? I can't even fathom that. I don't even want to fathom that. And I don't want to fathom that anybody that I know would knowingly and willingly put themselves in that situation. So Tell them, if you're talking to them, tell them, look, you don't have much time. And I don't say that as in, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. I say that is today is the day. If you don't make it today, there's a good chance you won't be able to make it tomorrow. If you don't make that decision now, there's a really high chance you won't be able to make that decision later. Why run that risk when you can just make the decision, receive the gift, and gain everything that goes with that? Again, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And when you have the Lord, you have everything. And once you start to see, once you start to understand, then you'll get it. Then you'll grasp it. And then you'll be real glad, like the rest of us are, that you made that decision. Because I can speak for all of us when I say we are glad we made that decision. We are glad that He called us and offered us this free gift, and we reached out and we took it and accepted it for His glory. I love you all very much. I bless you all in Jesus' name, and I'll see you in the next video.